Obviously, we want to get these dirt spots out of here. The other ultimate goal of this is freeing up the fibers, because that is the main characteristic of suede. That's what gives it its feel. That's also what gives it its look. A common question we get here at Adams Polishes about cleaning interiors is how to clean suede or Alcantara material. Usually we direct people to other products in our interior cleaning line, like carpet and upholstery cleaner or leather and interior cleaner. And although those are great options, we never really had anything that was specific for suede or Alcantara. But Adams Polishes does have a Suede and Alcantara cleaner. This product is actually specially formulated to clean this type of material. The cleaning agents inside of this are plant-based, so it's a mild cleaner, but it's still safe on your Alcantara or suede, and more specifically suede. This doesn't have alcohol in it, so it's not going to dry out that natural suede leather. Now, Alcantara, being more of a engineered or synthetic suede material, can withstand a little bit more of a cleaner, but the Suede and Alcantara cleaner actually has a foaming agent to it. So once we spray it on there and agitate it, it foams up, bringing the dirt and grime to the surface, making it much easier to wipe away with our towel. Now, what I want to do is show you the exact process on how to clean your Suede or Alcantara interior, both your seats and especially your doors, because your doors, that's where you get probably the most dirt and grime, because your arm or your hands, the oils from your skin, the dirt on your skin really get embedded into the suede on the doors. On the seats it does as well. So follow along in this video and learn exactly how to clean suede or Alcantara material. Now, first things first, you want to vacuum your seat, okay? You want any loose dirt and grime, you want to get that off of the seat before you get into the cleaning process. So we're using our Vacuum-Aid wall-mounted vacuum. Make sure that the tip of your vacuum is not frayed or scuffed, okay? The plastic, if there's plastic pieces coming off, it can actually damage your suede or Alcantara. So what you can do is you can take either 2000 or 3000 grit sandpaper, similar to the scratch remover sanding kit that we have here at Adams Polishes, but you want to sand that down and make it nice and smooth, so when you vacuum, you don't damage any of this material that you're working on. So after you're done vacuuming, it's now time to start cleaning. And one thing I want to show you before I just jump into cleaning is, if I brush this Alcantara back to front, you can actually see almost the grain of the fibers moving that way. It gets darker for me right here. And if I brush it back the other way, it gets lighter. So as of right now, the fibers on the seat are not matted down. And that's kind of the ultimate goal. Obviously, we want to get these dirt spots out of here and make this look much better. But really, the other ultimate goal of this is freeing up the fibers, because that is the main characteristic of suede. That's what gives it its feel. That's also what gives it its look. So when it comes to this seat, we may not have to go over this as many times as we will on the door, because on the door, the fibers are actually matted down. So when it comes to cleaning suede, it's not as much of how aggressive you are with scrubbing or wiping with the towel. It's more, how many more times do I need to do it to free up those fibers, make it look better, and bring it back to the suede it was when it first was put on this car. The Suede and Alcantara cleaner has a foaming agent in it, and it doesn't foam when it comes out of the sprayer, but it starts to foam when it's agitated. So what I like to do is I'm going to spray the cleaner directly onto the seat. And I'm just going to start on the where you sit portion. I'll do the back of this after I'm done with that. Now, once we spray it on there, when we start scrubbing, you'll notice it's kind of foaming up here. And that's a good thing, because what's going to happen is the foam is going to pull the dirt and grime away from the seat, bringing it to the surface. So when I wipe it with the towel, I wipe the dirt and grime away. When I'm brushing, if you notice, I'm not brushing in circles, okay? I'm brushing in straight lines. So I'm gonna go back to front or front to back first. I'm gonna spray a little bit more on here. And now I'm gonna go side to side. So working in straight lines is very, very important. And the reason being is that we want the fibers to lay one way and then lay the other. But if we go in circles, they're going to knot up, and that's gonna make them pile up, and you'll get these little balls on here. We want to avoid from doing that. So working in straight lines, side to side, front and back. So after I'm done scrubbing it with the brush and the Suede and Alcantara cleaner, I'm gonna take a fresh Edges utility towel, and I'm gonna wipe in straight lines to remove the dirt and grime from the surface in which the foam has pulled to the surface. So wiping back to front, then side to side. And I'm just gonna do that a couple times. I'm flipping to a fresh side of the towel so I have the capability of absorbing the cleaning product out of the seat. Okay, after you're done wiping the cleaning solution off of the Alcantara, what we're gonna do is let this dry now. And once it's dry, we're gonna come back with our cockpit brush, and we're going to brush this through to make sure. The ultimate goal is to get the fibers to stand up so they're not matted down. So after it's dry, we're gonna brush through it, and we'll even put those professional detailer lines in here just to give it that finishing touch. But while this dries, I'm gonna work on the back portion of the seat, and then we'll move on to the door. The seat and the back of the seat are clean and drying right now, and now I'm moving on to the door. So before you start spraying Suede and Alcantara cleaner directly onto this, because it's so dirty, I'm actually going to brush first. So what I want to do is, if there's any loose kind of dust or dirt that's on here, I want to try to get that off first before I start putting the Suede and Alcantara cleaner on there. And actually I'm using this mini cockpit brush just because it fits into this smaller door panel. So first things first, we're going to again brush in straight lines, but I'm going to brush from the front to the back first. You know, when you wash your car, you don't just start foaming it down with it dirty. You rinse it first to get all the loose dirt and grime off, and then you go into foaming and washing it. Same concept here. I'm trying to get the loose dirt and grime off of here before I start putting on the Suede and Alcantara cleaner first. So just brush this through. I'm gonna go from the front to the back, and then I'm gonna go back to the front. And you can really see like how much dust is on this thing. I'll just run my finger across the top, and that's pulling off all of that inside that suede. So I'm actually going to run my hand on this a couple times to get that excess out, and then it'll be ready to use with this product. So now that we've brushed through this, got the loose dirt and grime off, same concept as before. We're going to spray this directly on here. I would say kind of less is more. Don't have to get too crazy with it. Actually, I'm going to wipe the excess off from the hard panels that I sprayed. So we're brushing front to back. And if I have the opportunity to brush up and down, I will. And there are places that are harder to go kind of front and back. So what I'll do is I'll just run it one direction to start with. And again, really what I'm looking for here is being able to see the direction of the fibers moving. So it goes dark and then it goes light when I brush it the opposite way. And what that is telling me is that not only are we cleaning it, because the kind of dirt in here that we could see, the brown color is starting to go away, but the fibers are being released and being unmatted, which is the ultimate goal here. Both clean it and unmat the fibers of the Alcantara. So after I've scrubbed it for just a few times, then we wipe off the cleaner in one direction, one wiping direction only. Okay, this is looking a lot better, but I can still see some of the brown dirt spots kind of like in this section. You sit with your arm on the door and you have oils from your skin mixed with the dirt. It's really going to embed itself in here. So instead of trying to scrub harder, I'm just going to repeat the process I just did. So granted, I had already brushed it out when it was dry, so I'm just going to repeat the cleaning process. So we'll spray this on here again. Nice mist. I'm just going to do the whole section again just for good measure. Wipe off the excess. And then start brushing front to back. And actually what I'm gonna do now is, you can see as I'm brushing this, it's really starting to foam up quite a bit. And before I let the foam dissipate, I'm gonna wipe it away immediately to try to get all that dirt that's lifted and suspended, try to get that off. And actually, as I'm wiping this, my towel is pretty damp, so I think it's having trouble absorbing some of that. So I'm gonna switch to a fresh towel. This will help pull, yeah, that's much better. It will help pull more of the cleaning solution and dirt and grime out of the surface. I'm gonna do one more round of cleaning because even though this looks more uniform and back to the color I want, I just want kind of that last step to really finalize it and make sure it looks perfect. So brush. And again, as it starts to foam up, I'm gonna wipe. As far as cleaning goes, door is done. Like the blue is now restored, the blue color of the Alcantara. But again, this is nice and damp right now, and I want to let it dry before I brush the fibers back. So what I'm going to do is go back to where we started. The seat is dry now, and we'll brush the fibers just to make sure they're brushed through and they're freestanding. Then we'll do the back, then we'll get back to the door, and we'll pretty much be done. By doing one whole seat and one door, I didn't use very much product. Kind of started right here above the label. So just a few ounces for like a big area is more than enough. So again, less is more when it comes to this product. You don't want to overload the Alcantara with too much product because then it can almost make it where it knots together or mats together. And we don't want that. Brush from the back to the front. Oh, you can see like really how uniform this is looking. That really looks good. And then we'll brush the opposite way from the front to the back, like so. And you can really see the color shift from the light, and that means the fibers are standing up. I mean, this is for a really good representation where I'll brush just half of it. So you can really see like these fibers are laying this way, these fibers are laying that way. I'm gonna brush it this way one more time. Brush it the opposite way. Gosh, it's looking so much better. Okay, then I'm gonna do the back, so I'll brush it down. Okay, so as I started brushing this, I actually saw that I missed a spot right here. If that happens to you, just grab your cleaner, spray a couple mists onto that spot. I like to take more of your spot brush, which is the mini cockpit brush. And again, I'm gonna brush side to side and up and down. Let that foam really come up like that. Take my towel, wipe in the one direction like we talked about. And, oh yeah, nice and clean, gone. Perfect, ready to go. Now I will say what I end up doing is I'll let that dry again. I want the moisture to come all the way out, so then when we get into brushing the fibers, they're freestanding. But I did kind of agitate the seat portion, so I'm going to brush this back to front again. So after it dries and you've brushed the fibers the 4 different ways, brush them all one way. And then what you can do is take your small cockpit brush, brush it the opposite way, like this. And what we can do is put in those detailer's lines that kind of give it that finishing touch, gives it some style. And you have a final product that looks amazing. So when it comes to cleaning suede or Alcantara, this product from Adams Polishes is gonna be it. Really what we focused on was getting the dirt and grime out, but also making sure that the fibers are freestanding, they're not matted down. And Suede and Alcantara Cleaner is the right product for that job.